Von Allen Sports.
Hi, this is tennis player Mariana Dragic, and you're watching Von Allen Sports, real and honest sports analysis. Subscribe now and join the empire. Von Allen Sports, let's go!
You don't know how many opportunities you're going to have. You don't know, it's not promised. And, if you don't take advantage of those opportunities, they're missed.
David, you mentioned there are guys in the locker room that have been here for a long time. Does this season have a feel of sort of the last go-around for some of the guys that are part of this group?
Yeah, I mean, there's finality in everything, right? There's just finality in the team. There's guys who will leave. There's guys who will retire. There's coaches that will leave. There's, whatever it may be, right? It's a finality. And that's just part of it, and it's part of this business, and, makes it hard.
David, to lose a game in that fashion, what do you feel like the thing that you guys just couldn't match?
Like I said, I had a first drive going, kind of missed opportunities. And then, just fell behind. Fell behind, just couldn't make it up. And, when you're down that big and playing third and long, it's just not how you want to play the game. And, unfortunately, kind of the last few weeks, we've done that too much.
David, since the bye week, you guys have just not been the same team as a lot of us. Can you point to anything that changed, or anything in the locker room, anything at all?
No, I mean, no, as a leader and stuff, you just try to figure out what you can do to be better, learn from, whatever it is, look at the season as a whole, and, try to be better and try to go back to work. And, that's all I know how to do is just, take care of your body, get your body right, and then, prepare, get ready to go next year. I mean, there's nothing we can do now that's going to change the outcome of what happened, tonight or last, whatever you want to say, last December, whatever. So, it's frustrating, it's disappointing. Like I said, it's a missed opportunity, and, they're all fleeting, so.
Dave, I think a final touch was that interception, and Hyde did a great play on it. You guys, were moving the football, looking like you guys were ready to go offensively, and came up with that pick.
Yeah, turnovers, penalties. Can't really, just got to try to do a better job, all around as a football team. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. All right, so that's appreciate Captain David.
When did Bud Light Seltzer start making lemonade?
Probably when 2020 handed us all those lemons.
Okay, I'll bring us back when I'll turn the volume back on when another player gets on. How you guys? Let's see here. Yeah. Now, since this is a post-game show and I figure you guys have a lot of opinions, I'm going to let you guys call in tonight if you want to. You can voice your opinion on what happened. But, let's try to make sure that everybody gets a chance to call in, because we can't do like a bunch of people at the same time. So, give out your opinion and then try to make it as brief as possible. And what I mean is not like an hour, long thing, so we can get anybody who wants to get in. And I will post a link to call in soon, probably after Bill is done talking. I don't expect him to say much, but I still want to see what he says. I just want to kind of see. I don't know if you guys saw different angles or what. Maybe some of you were at the game, who knows? But one thing I was wondering about, one question I had was, I never saw Bill coaching on the sidelines. I never saw him doing what he normally does, which is, getting the guys and taking over the defense. I he may have done that. I don't know. Like I said, there may be other angles of that, but I never saw it. Every single television camera that they would show Bill, he was just standing there, kind of just looking around, I guess. So, but first, right off the bat, I want to say congratulations to the Buffalo Bills. My God, if they play like that going forward, if they play like that, hang on just a second. Hope you guys can hear me good, because I'm using the headphones tonight. But if the Bills play like that the rest of the way, like every game that they have now, they're going to the Super Bowl. That's the bottom line. Yes, it was a bad performance by us. Yes, we sucked, but that wasn't all sucking. That wasn't all, you know. I'm sorry, guys. I tried to go without these, but I can't. These lights are just driving me crazy. All right. Anyway, I just want to say again, congrats to the Bills. They played well. Yes, we didn't do that great. We could have done better, and we could have done a lot of things better, and we'll get to that. But they were in the zone, man. They were in the zone from the very beginning, and Josh Allen, he took control of everything, and you could just see it. They wanted this, and this was just something that they've been waiting for so long, and you could see it all over them. It was crazy. But if I get the Bills fans, that they're going to be insufferable, they're going to be hard to deal with, they're going to be difficult, they're going to be annoying. I get that. But what do they have, right? What do they have? They don't have anything at all. So the last time that they were actually something that mattered, I was in high school. I was a kid. So it's been a long time, and yes, they made it to the AFC Championship game recently, but that's I wonder if this means more to them because it was against the Patriots, and that's so. Looks like it's taken Bill a while to get to the podium, so I'll go ahead and read these. Oh, see it twice since the super chat. Thanks, man. Let's see here. See it twice sends a $5 super chat. It says Bills had more points than Biden's approval rating. Okay, so leave it to see it twice to make me laugh on after a game like that, right? So that was pretty good, man. That was pretty good. Israel sends a $2 super chat and says, worst loss in 20 years, absolute embarrassment. We've never had a loss this bad under Belichick and or Brady that I can think of in the playoffs. The closest I can think of would be the Ravens in 2009 when Ray Rice, on the first play of the game, Ray Rice took it to the house, and we never got back after that. But that wasn't this. This was a complete destruction. This was an annihilation. Whatever word you want to come up with, it fits. It was just watching this and just like, you know. Elliot sends a $2 super chat and says 2009. Oh, there it is. 2009 game pales in comparison to this evisceration. Absolutely, this is listen. I would. I'm happy that we made the playoffs. That's great. That's cool, right? But if you remember, we actually were on our way to winning the division, so it should have been much better. And in fact, this is why I'm wearing a division hat. I've got Super Bowl hats, I got all kinds of stuff, but I'm wearing AFC East 2019 champs because that's the last time we won a division, and that's what I do now. That's what we are now. So we celebrate what could have been division championships, and that's kind of where it is, I guess. So, but anyway, going back to what I was going to say is we may we made the playoffs. That's great and stuff, but to get embarrassed like that is not. I mean, I didn't think that we were going to just like blow them out or whatever, but I at least expected, you know, a better performance, but yeah, exactly, a ball game, something that was just competitive, and I don't think that's too much to ask. I wasn't asking for us to, serious. I wasn't asking in a serious way for us to make the playoff or make the Super Bowl. That's not something I was expecting. I just wanted something in a game, and I think last night I overestimated what I overestimated Bill. I overestimated this team. Um, I made a decision that was based on in here and not in here. And that's back when I used to, we'd bet on games sometimes, years ago. I had a rule, never bet on the Patriots. I never would bet on the Patriots ever. I just left them out. If I did a team parlay, whatever it was, I left the Patriots out of it. They were not included. And this is why. This is why, because it's difficult to go against your team, and because you almost feel like you jinx them, and then if they lose, you feel like, oh man, I shouldn't have done that, right? John Thomas Chavez sends a $2 super chat. Says, at least Mac and Bourne look like a promising duo. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Mac, if you guys remember in the opening of the game, it looked like, okay, Josh Allen goes down, scores, but it looked like Mac was going to be able to match it. Things were kind of rolling, and then the defense kept giving up stuff and giving up crap on Josh and the Bills, and it's just, you can't come back from that. I told you guys, we are not the type of team right now that can get down by a lot and expect to make a comeback. We're a pace team. We keep pace. We keep, everything kind of even, run the ball, stay conservative, play good defense, all that. That's our game. Trying to get back from 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns down, that is not our game. It's just not this type of team. It's not like that anymore. Those days are gone. And they might be gone for a while, so.
You had another membership chat by John Thomas Chavez.
Okay, thank you. I can't find it.
It says defense needs a huge overhaul. It's in green. Just before Elliot.
It's not coming up.
Well, I'll send you
on my software. Boa Omega sends a $5 super chat from Canada and says, would the things the Bills did to the Pats tonight not be criminal under the old anti-butt fun stuff laws? My God, how long is it going to be before Belichick actually checks in? I mean, really? I'm sick of seeing these advertisements. I don't want to advertise for these asshats. So I'm not talking about the Pats. I'm talking about all these companies. James Johnson renewal. I'm not 0-2. I'm 1-1. I'm 1-1. I said the Bengals were going to win. I said I was going for the Raiders. Didn't I?
Yeah.
Said the Bengals were going to win, and I was going for the Raiders. I'm 1-1. No, I didn't pick the Bengals. I mean, I didn't pick the Raiders. I picked the Bengals. Yeah.
I picked the Raiders.
Milena, I think, yeah, Milena picked the Raiders.
We're rooting for them, but
Yeah, who I'm going for is little different sometimes than who I think's going to win. But what am I supposed to do? Pick against my team? I mean, really? Is that what you're supposed to do? Say, oh, yeah, I think we're going to get annihilated. I mean, really? And honestly, I don't trust I didn't trust the Bills. I mean, we've seen them, and we saw them this season. We saw them kind of, I don't want to say choke, but they had all these expectations on them, and they seemed to not be able to live up to them. And then they finally got it fixed. It looks like they got it fixed the last few weeks, so I'll give it to them. Yeah. And like I said, if they keep playing like this, they're going to march all the way to the Super Bowl. That's it, done. Because yes, we played like crap. Yes, we did. Okay, lack of effort. It's the first time I've ever seen a Belichick team ever that I can remember. Maybe there was a few times, I'm sure there probably were, but I'm just right at the top of my head. And remember, guys, when you're doing a show like this, you don't remember every detail all the time. Like sometimes things just don't register when you're live like this, and it's different when you can go and look up stuff and then type it and comment it and things like that. But there may be a game where the kind of effort was this bad. I can't think of one right now. That's the truth. So let's see what he's got to say.
Yeah, Cole.
Well, Matt, obviously, how disappointing was that for you guys from start?
That buzzing is on them, not me.
Start to finish, we was getting handled. We lost the game, so it's disappointing, especially when there's no more games after this.
How frustrating was it on that first drive when they came down and you guys stopped?
Every drive we couldn't come up with a stop. It was frustrating. It wasn't only one drive. It wasn't only one play. It wasn't one single player. It was everything. It was the whole game. So everything was kind of frustrating, honestly.
Why has that offense been so hard for you to stop the last few times?
It's a good offense. They got good wide receivers. They got a really good quarterback, decent O-line, and now they implement the run game as well, whether that's with Josh Allen or Singletary. So when they hitting all phases, intermediate game, short gain, every run seemed like it was 6 yards. That's very hard to stop a team, and so it was their night to night. And, you got to give credit to them. They watched film, they executed, they seen like the holes and mistakes that we was making, and they just kind of capitalized on us.
Matt, did you come into this game ready?
They watched film. You think that's what it was? No, sorry, dude. That wasn't scheme. That wasn't film. That was you guys walking around like a bunch of lazy ass.
Different game plan. We obviously know what our mistakes and why we lost the last game, and we tried to fix them. But like I said, it was just kind of their night, and they was just hitting on all cylinders. And you just sometimes you just gotta give credit to the other team. It just sucks when you can't play no more. So it really sucked.
Matthew, you didn't start the game. I think you came on like the fourth play. Is that a change from the norm, or was that a package that you guys opened in?
It was just a package. We rolled out our
some great players. Like it don't matter who's starting the game, it don't matter who in the game. We got great players all over the place, and they know how to play winning football, and they know how to make plays. And so it didn't matter if I started or not.
Matthew, you guys had such success in the middle of the season before the bye, and struggled at the end of the season. Are there lessons you take from the way things weren't able to be sustained that you can use going forward?
Yeah, it's just hard when you lose a handful of games coming down the stretch, and after, like you said, after that success we had. So we got to go back and we got to just stay focused. I think that's one of the biggest things. Not saying that we were overlooking things, but we just gotta, when we have that type of success, you gotta lock in even more, because you go from the team that everybody like want to play like, all right, this a feel good game, let's get our stats, and then we start winning some good games, and we start winning some tough teams, then you get that target on your back. You're like, all right, we know that this team can lose, and so, but they winning right now, and so everybody looking at you like the feeling. So you kind of just gotta lock in even more when you on top.
Thank you, Matthew. Kevin is next.
That's pitcher linebacker Matthew Judon, who's pitcher captain.
Kevin, I guess how stunning was that one for you guys?
It is what it is. Obviously not our best game.
It is what it is.
Sucks to end the season that way. Credit to them, obviously. I mean, I don't think we got to stop on defense tonight. So, just not how you want to end
No, you
any
didn't.
season, not how you want to play a game, playoff game. I think the reality of, every time you step on the field in a playoff game, it's the last chance that team has to be out there on the field. That's at stake every time you go out there. And I think for this group, starting the season 2-4 and climbing back, and I think building, it sucks to end that way. I think we made strides this year, coming off last year. Did some things well during the season. Just didn't finish the way we needed to finish. That's how the NFL is. Teams that are playing good ball at the end find ways to win, and that kind of usually keeps it going. And we just didn't do that.
Devin, Mookie Hawkins, Waffle Sports Today. What do you think that the Bills did different this time around that caught you off guard?
Shit, everything they did. I think they just did a good job of, I think creating chunk plays, good job in the running game. Allen, I think the big scramble early, put him in scoring position. Like I said, we didn't get a stop, so everything they did offensively was a good play for them, and you have no shot to win a game like that.
You mentioned not finishing the way that you guys wanted to. Can you put your finger on why it sort of tailed off that way at the end of the season?
If I could, I would have done everything to try to get it turned around. That's how it goes. Like I said, this team fought a lot during the season. I think even what Ju said of, going from the team that was 2-4 and, just fighting, just trying to get back to being a team that was at the top of the AFC at one point. You got to execute at a high level once that happens, and we just didn't, for whatever reasons. We'll have a lot of time to think about it, and, that sucks. We've all been here before, falling short in the playoffs. Obviously, you don't want to go out like this, but we'll have a lot of time to kind of think and see why it didn't go the way we wanted to really after the bye week. We'll have to process that all off season.
Devin, when I tell
Last
you
question,
that
guys.
they were the first offense in NFL history to score a touchdown in every drive, your reaction is what?
I don't know. I felt it. I knew it out there. Not surprising. That's, practice all week. You shouldn't really perform like that. So, embarrassing, Appreciate it.
Thanks, Devin.
As pitcher captain Devin McCourty, certainly a class act. Hopefully he will be back next year. We're waiting on another pitcher to come through that door.
Yeah, so you didn't get any stops. No, you did get stops. You got stops, Devin. You guys got stops after the Bills scored a touchdown. Okay, that's when it stopped. So the rules of the game stopped it for you. Okay, you did get a blocked field extra point. That was good. Way to go. I mean, that got me hyped. I mean, after that blocked extra point, I thought, uh-oh, it's Super Bowl 51 all over again. 28-3. Here we come. We're going to come back, man. It's going to be like the Bills Oilers back in the day. Yeah, right. Again, like I said, not scheme. This was not about scheme. By the way, you remember Devin Singletary's run, his touchdown run? I believe it was the third one when they went up 20-0. Did you see our DBs? Did you see them? Later on, guys, go back and watch that. You will see our DBs tripping over each other. What are you doing? Where are you going? And this little dude, Singletary, he's just weaving in and out, going wherever he wants and just waving at us, just taunting us, okay?
Congratulate Buffalo on the win tonight. Obviously, they did a great job, and we just couldn't keep up with them tonight. So certainly deserved to win. Well coached, team executed well, and we just couldn't do much anything. So it was pick up the pieces, go back to work here, and need to find a way to be more competitive.
Coach Greatness, Mookie Hawkins, Waffle Sports Today. I think you did a very solid job this year with this team, but with new additions and injuries equals lack of continuity. So overall, what do you have to say about this 2021 Patriots team?
Yeah, I'll deal with that later. I was kind of focused on the game here.
Bill, credit to the Bills' execution. Defensively, you feel like the effort was at the necessary level tonight for your defense?
Yeah, I said we couldn't keep up with them tonight, and we couldn't.
With defending Josh Allen, did you guys try different tactics this time, or is he just too tough to contain?
Yeah, they were too much for us tonight.
Yeah, no shit.
Kind of sputtered to the finish line here. Does that change the way you might want to approach the offseason?
Just focused on the game tonight.
Bill, was that one of the best offensive performances you've coached against in your career?
They played well tonight.
Bill, was there any thought to receive the opening kickoff when you won the coin toss?
Yeah, we got two choices. We chose to defer.
Bill, how much did the momentum stop on offense in that first drive? The play that Hyde made on that interception, it seemed like you guys were moving the ball pretty nicely.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of plays that didn't go well tonight, so it's a pretty long list.
Is there anything you can pinpoint just to the slow starts that played the team down the stretch today?
Yeah. I don't know.
On that Chase Winovich inactive, was that something that came up late? Or was it like...
We inactivated the players and activated other players, same as we always do.
On Wilkerson, elevating him from the practice squad, even though he was inactive, was that always sort of part of the plan, even when elevating him, or did something change from when he got elevated to today?
Based on the rules, I think that's what every team does. They elevate as many as they can to 55 and then make game time decision. But maybe not, I don't know. But that's what we did.
Bill, any thought early on, you guys down a couple scores, but you had a fourth and short there early in the game, any thought you're going in for what do you have to say about Josh Allen's performance?
I said we couldn't keep up with them. They were great tonight.
Talked about wrinkles earlier in the week. Was there anything new from Buffalo in those first few drives?
They do a good job. And they're well coached. They play well fundamentally, and they executed well tonight. So they do a good job.
You guys did accomplish a lot this year, 10 wins with a rookie quarterback. Is the way the season ended leave a sour taste in your mouth?
We didn't play well tonight. Yeah.
Micah Hyde interception in the first quarter that might have been one of the turning points in the game.
It was one of many good plays that they made and that we didn't make.
Would you say Mac Jones handled his first false start against the team?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll watch the film.
Final question.
Safe travels, Coach.
Yeah, they played well. We didn't. They deserved to win.
All right. So there you have it. Patriot head coach Bill Belichick waiting on Patriots.
Okay. As usual, he said absolutely nothing. And I guess we're waiting for Mac. I don't expect Mac to say much. He's a rookie. I mean, I know he's the quarterback and stuff, but I don't have a problem with Mac tonight. I don't have anything really bad to say about him. He was out there by himself quite a bit, it looked like. And honestly, it felt a lot like the Eagles Super Bowl, if you guys remember how that went, where it looked like Tom was on an island, you know? Here we go.
Moving the ball a little bit there, and then the interception by Hyde. How did that plan fall from your view?
Yeah, just not a very good throw, and I can make a better throw, and that's pretty much it. I think when it's the first drive of the game, you don't want to do that, and our goal was not to turn the ball over, and it happened, and it's just part of the game, I guess, but it's something you can learn from when I watch the tape.
Speaking of that, what did you learn from tonight in your first NFL postseason start? Obviously, it's difficult with what the result was, but what kind of things did you learn?
I mean, to try and play better than we did, I think just goes back to practice and just holding everybody to a higher standard. And I know that I'm a rookie or whatever, but I could have done a better job of just holding everybody to that standard, myself included. And I think we'll make a lot of progress in the off season with that and my leadership and just being myself. And sometimes it shows on the field, but it's a result of how we prepare, and we put a lot of effort into it. It's not like we don't do that, but I think just the little things show up in the game. Like tonight, just the little things for everybody, myself included. That's just something that I learned, and I'll just try to watch the tape and learn from it. But I do appreciate everybody on our team for having my back, and I wish I could have played better. And obviously, we want to win every game we play in, and hopefully, we'll get a chance, to have a really good off season and funnel it into next year, and that's all you can do.
Mac, you used the word embarrassing. Is this rock bottom? Was that going to be it?
No, I think obviously we didn't play how we wanted to play, and every game's different. And we didn't have a chance to win the game, and it starts with me, just getting momentum early and not putting ourselves in that position. And I mean, of course, it's not how we wanted it to be, and like I said, I could play better. A lot of guys would agree with me that we can push each other harder to get that product on the field, and I think there will be a lot of strides this offseason to get there, and just working together however we can, and that's going to show up next year.
Mac, do you feel like maybe you guys weren't pushing one another enough down the stretch?
I think it was just, every day's a new day. It's a grind. And, with me, just it's all about, coming to work every day and trying to put your best foot forward. And there's a lot that comes at you. But we have a lot of good guys on this team that I learned a lot from in terms of leadership, whether that be addressing the team or how they lead and all that. And obviously we weren't, good enough tonight, and a lot of that didn't show tonight, but it just wasn't our day, and we got to try and put a better product on the field.
The broadcast caught a moment between you and Hunter Henry at the very end of the game where it looked like he was talking to you for a bit. What message was he sharing with you at that point?
Yeah, I think, that's personal between him and I, but he obviously gave me great words of advice, and he's a guy who's played quite some time in the NFL, and I'm really happy to have him, hopefully for a while, and I think he's a great player, and he's a great person too. He means a lot to me. He's like a big brother, just like a lot of guys on this team are to me, so I appreciate him and people, who've played a lot of, snaps in the NFL that had encouraging words for me, and I wish I could have put a better performance out there so that they could, we could push together through the playoffs, but it's something that I'll have to live with, and it'll
You did
motivate
fine,
me for
Mac.
next year, but I wish it could have happened tonight.
Max, you've mentioned the guys,
It's not on you, buddy. Not on you.
I've treated you positively as a little brother. Is the next step for you to become a big brother, to become a guy that is not getting looked at like a rookie and is seizing more of that yourself?
Yeah, I think, you get more comfortable with anything you do. Anything you do in life, I don't know, I always relate it back to being a pilot. Like if you're a pilot and you've only flown so many times, by the time you have hundreds of flight hours, it's just an everyday thing for you. So for me, obviously I was a rookie, and I played like that sometimes, and I shouldn't have, and I can play better, and that's my goal this offseason, is just to advance and bring the guys along with me, because we have great players all around me, and I know we have a lot of progress to make, and I'll just feel more comfortable with anything you do a second time around, schedule, like routine, everything. So there's no excuses, but there's a lot that goes into it besides one thing.
Matt, we talked to you after losses, including just last week, where it seemed like it really kind of crushed you. You took it hard and personally, which losing sucks. But I'm curious what makes you seem so different now, more even keeled, even though this is the end of your season.
Yeah, I think losing's terrible, and none of us wanted to do that tonight, but there's nothing we can do about it. There's a lot to look forward to and be positive about and learn from. There's nothing to hang our heads on. I'm super proud of the people that have helped me grow as a person, coaches, players, support staff, and all that. So, I mean, there's a lot to look back on and just learn, and there's nothing to feel sorry about. It's just a learning experience to get better for next year. Thanks.
Pitcher quarterback Mac Jones, his pitcher captain.
Matthew, how difficult was that one for you guys from start to finish? How stunning was it for you guys?
Yeah, that's not the way we envisioned tonight going. So, the thing about being in the playoffs, when it ends, it's kind of like a crash landing. So it's a tough pill to swallow. Think about how the previous season went and all the work we put in to get back to this point. I know we were excited about the opportunity, but give the Buffalo Bills credit. I mean, they thoroughly and soundly outplayed us tonight, and they deserve to win. And I think the one thing I'll say is this team should be proud. God bless you. This team should be proud of the strides that it made, the growth that we showed over the course of the season, and for me, I know I'm just thankful to have been able to be a part of this group.
Every year at this point, you kind of talk about thinking about your future, and are you leaning one? Do you know what you're doing? Are you leaning one way? How does that?
I certainly don't want to disrespect the team and what we just went through and talk about my personal situation. Obviously, I mean, look, I'm closer to the end. We all know that, and I'll pray about it and make a final decision and have some conversations. But tonight, I just want to, make sure that I express gratitude to the people that I owe it to, and take time to be reflective and thankful for, not only the experience this year, but throughout the entirety of my career. So.
You would use the word focus in one of your interviews. I guess the question is, would you kill the focus yourself?
I don't think anything was there tonight. I mean, when you go out and get beat like that, it's just, you can't really say you did anything well.
Matthew, how much would you say this team's changed since the last time you got here?
Takes, and it changes your team, it molds your team, it evolves your team. Certainly, I think since the last time we won here, we've faced some tough outings and haven't played our best football, and I hope we take that and we use it as an opportunity to grow, especially a lot of these young guys that are, you know, at the beginning of their careers. I hope they use this season as a learning experience and apply it down the road.
But in no way you don't feel the confidence and commitment really changed all that much?
No, not at all. I think our commitment level has been the same for 19 weeks plus. And I mean, you just don't get to the play. You don't just get to the playoffs unless you're committed. And certainly we're committed. You know, I personally feel like we had a great deal of confidence. I can't speak for everyone on the team, but I certainly feel like we believed we could come in here and win tonight. But we obviously didn't do that.
Two final questions. Talk about how you guys built this year, and certainly the 7-game win streak was impressive. But with all due respect, you guys lost your last 4 of your 5 games. You got blown out here in the playoffs. Do you feel good about what you guys built for this year?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, I think you have to keep proper perspective on the National Football League. For those of you who've been covering this team for a long time, this is not reality. I mean, what we've experienced here, to have the runs that we've had, the expectations for this football team, I mean, nobody else in the league has done that. So that's not reality. That's not the reality of the NFL. So I think perspective is important. So you look at what happened last year and, you know, the regression that we had to get back to this point. I think certainly we should be proud of that. But the other edge of that sword tells us that the expectations and the demand are high here, and the standard's never going to change. So certainly we're not pleased with the way that we ended the season, and we're also not pleased with tonight's outcome. So, you know, you got to keep a good balance there. You got to realize what you're talking about. You got to realize who this football team is and where they're headed, and, you know, we'll see what the future holds.
Matthew, last question. This team, obviously you were hugging Mac Jones as he walked away. Patriots fans obviously are down, just like you guys are down. But just your thoughts on what they have in Mac Jones going forward and what they can look forward to with him?
Yeah, look, I think the future is bright for this organization with that young man. Not just his play on the field, but I think the man that he is, the character that he possesses, he's the type of man that you hope to build around. So I know my kids and I will be watching him for a long time to come. I'm excited about where this organization is going to be in the future with him. It's certainly been an honor for me to play alongside of him and see him grow over the course of the year. But, you know, the Patriots Nation, they should be excited about having number 10 as their quarterback. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, it's Christian Captain.
Okay, I think that's it for them. Yeah. Okay, so real quick, while they were talking, I missed a few of y'all's super chats, so just knock them out real quick. Addie, oh come on, Addie, really, Addie? Guys, we're getting heckled by a Cleveland Browns fan, Cleveland Browns super fan. This is the state of things now, is that the Cleveland Browns fan is getting us. Okay. Eddie Vasorno sends a $2 super chat and says, that was a mega oof, my guy. Yes, it was. We know. Thank you, Eddie. That was very much appreciated. Yeah. Elliot sends a $5 super chat and says, this was like watching Killmonger kick T'Challa's ass in Black Panther. or watching Edgar the Bug eat someone alive in Men in Black. Yeah, that's there's an image, right? So yeah, it's pretty much that's pretty much correct. So Leo Galamara sends a $2 super chat and says, "Some people want Steve Belichick fired. What do you think?" No, no. He's just getting started. I mean, he's new. Think of Steve as you would a rookie quarterback, for example. Like you see how these guys have got to get started somewhere. They've got to. They have to get some experience, and we had one of the best defenses in the league, and it just went wrong tonight. It just went really wrong, but I don't think that's on Steve. If anything, okay, there's two parts to this. The first part, all right, the most obvious, okay, is the Bills are really good, okay? The Bills are good. But that does not account for a 30-point beatdown, okay? And it was nearly 37. We got that last touchdown in garbage time. Nearly a 37-point beatdown. The final score was what, 47-10, right? So I'm sorry, but yes, some of that is good Bills, okay? Great Bills, absolutely. But the other part of that is no effort, zero fucks given by the team. None, okay? Those players, yeah, people say, oh, Belichick, can't blame Belichick. He can't, whatever, make the plays. Okay, well, where's that argument when they're praising Belichick? When we're praising Belichick, we never come up with that. We can't say the same thing now. They weren't prepared, okay? Last night I went on my whole thing about how this was going to be about great scheming. He was going to throw the kitchen sink at them. Everything about this game, everything about it was as if it was week 3. That's what it felt like. It felt like a week 3 game, week 2 game or something. It was just different, something about it. So you can say good Bills, great Bills, whatever, but that doesn't explain away such an annihilation, and it doesn't explain away the lack of effort. I saw no effort, none. Now, I get on the Buccaneers' asses, and you guys know this. I get on them all the time, and y'all agree when they're doing stupid things or not trying, or it doesn't seem like they're trying, or everything's all out of whack. Who do we blame? We blame the coaching. That is coaching. When the whole team, everybody on the team is all collectively sucking and doing stupid things like tripping over each other and running into each other and always playing the wrong guy or not playing him correctly. Yeah, that's coaching. That's not being prepared. So it's some of that too, because I'm going to repeat this one more time for a few of you dipshits out there. You cannot explain away a beatdown like that in the playoffs without mentioning the team that got beat down not doing what they're supposed to. This is the NFL. These are 2 playoff teams. I don't care how great the Bills are, okay? If this game was 28-14 or something, I would say, okay, and we saw a lot of effort. In fact, if we just saw effort out there, it would have been closer. It would not have been a blowout. Just effort would have done that. So that's including as good as they were playing, because they quit. They quit after when they went up 20-0. They quit. Up until that point, I believe that they were still just trying to get their bearings, and the Bills were just on fire. Okay, the Bills, man, they looked good. I was having flashbacks of the old Jim Kelly, the Buffalo Bills back in the 90s when I was a kid, man. They were so awesome. And that's kind of what I was like, whoa, it's them again. And it's got that feel to it. Josh Allen is a badass. He's awesome, man. But Mac Jones, this is not on Mac. This is not on Mac, okay? He We got a good quarterback, guys. We've got something here. Okay, just think about this. He's on a rookie deal. We're going to get him for 4 more years, no doubt. Okay, and then hopefully we would re-sign him if he's doing good, right? But as long as he can keep progressing, which I don't see why he wouldn't, we've got a guy who's not making that much. He's not counting that much against the cap compared to a big-time quarterback. And I think by next year, he can already be playing like he's I think by next year, he should be playing like he's top 13, top 12, something like that. I don't see why he couldn't. And even, he had 2 picks. That second pick wasn't even on him. So that was a tip. And again, that goes back to we've got to have a stat for interceptions caused by someone else other than the quarterback. They've got to implement that somehow. But that wasn't on him. That first interception, I want to talk about that first interception real quick. That was a touchdown. Okay? That was a touchdown. When I watched it in the angle we were at, with the angle they gave us on TV, I celebrated. I was like, let's go. Because I thought it was going right in. And then we saw the replay. Micah Hyde had just stolen that thing. Okay? That was just an incredible interception, incredible play. Given the circumstances of a playoff game and given the angle and how he just stole that like that, I think that's the best pick of the year so far. And we'll see if any other big time awesome interceptions happen. But that right there was, as far as I'm concerned, the best pick I've seen. So that was a good throw. Yes, I know that Mac made some poor decisions, and there were times where I was like, what are you throwing at? Like, why are you throwing in double coverage, or why are you throwing in that direction? What is this for? What are you doing? And then I just remember, okay, man, he's got a lot going for him. He's a rookie. He's out there. He's got the weight of the world on his shoulders, and he's Tom's replacement, and he knows that everyone's watching, and it's his first year. So again, we don't have to worry about Mac. That's fine. I'm not worried about him. My problem is the lack of effort, because that pisses me off. You guys know this. When we talk about the Patriots and when we talk about the Bucks, I get pissed off because I don't like seeing these things. These are mental errors. This is all in your head, and this is stupid, self-inflicted garbage. And I at least wanted some answers out of these guys, and they never say anything. I know we're used to that, and I know it's usually how it works, but I just want to know what they think it was, what they believe happened, and that's part of being a Patriots fan, though. I mean, we've gotten used to that, right? So. Nightwalker sends a €5 super chat. By the way, Nightwalker, again, thank you for last night sending €200 super chat. You are awesome, man. Appreciate it so much. Someone in LA killing each other again? All right. Nightwalker sends a €5 super chat. Says, let's have a minute of silence so the team can finally sleep. We're sleepy all game. It's funny. I text Nightwalker during the game and I said, I've got to do a post game tonight. What am I supposed to say? Because it was just so bad. And Nightwalker said, why don't you just, do nothing or
Like sleep on the show.
yeah, do nothing like the Patriots. So I was like, yeah, that kind of works. So 1777 says they threw the game. No. Let's not do that. I know they played like crap and nobody threw a game. That's crazy. No, I'm just surprised that with all of the pressure on Bill, that they didn't just perform better. At least the defense didn't perform better. Again, I get it. The Bills are playing great. But that doesn't account for getting beat down like this. If you're the best coach of all time and you've got all that's going for you, we've got a good roster. I believe we've got a pretty damn good roster. a definitely good enough roster and a good enough coach to not get embarrassed on national television. That's the problem. That's my problem right there. Oh, we got a butthurt person.
Yeah.
I haven't had one of those in a while.
What do we have?
A little boy named Bruce Morgan. Best coach in football. Stop crying. Got beat by a better team tonight. It is simple. Okay. Well, see, this is the problem with guys like Bruce. So they worship football teams. They worship people. And it becomes a religion. It becomes a faith. So you can't criticize them. You can't be critical of them. And I want to explain something to you, Brucey. Now, when we compliment a team, if we say Belichick is the best coach in the league in history, we say these things. We say Brady is the best quarterback of all time. We say stuff like that. If you don't criticize them ever when they clearly screw up, then your compliments and saying they're the best this, the best that has no value. Okay? It means nothing. It's completely meaningless. It's like this douchebag who posts on my Montana Brady video all the time. Guy named Mike Montana. I guess he thinks that in his mind he married Joe Montana or something and took his last name. He changed his name recently. But he trolls my comment section. That video was done over 2 years ago, and he still trolls it because it's a religion for him. Joe Montana is like Jesus Christ figure to him. So anytime he tries to make a point about Joe can do no wrong. No matter what, he can't just admit that Joe, there's certain problems that you bring up. So any time he says something good, it means nothing. It has no value. And that's basically how you're coming across, Bruce, is this is a religion for you. And this is a deity instead of we're supposed to be fans, and fans can be critical. I'm sorry, but if we just lost, in a normal, high effort game where it was, maybe we could even have lost by 2 touchdowns, even maybe 2 touchdowns and a field goal, whatever, but everything, they were just fighting and scratching and clawing. That's fine. I have nothing to say. But to get embarrassed like this, to get to where we have to go the whole off season, hearing nothing but garbage about this, no. I am not going to just sit back and not say something. That is lame. Okay, so to be honest with you, that makes you the bitch, not me. So. Yes, thank you, Redshift. Please. By the way, Redshift, where'd you get your name? There's a really great band I like called Redshift. I think you probably, based on your icon, you probably got that from the term, the space term. But that'd be cool if you also like the band. So, but yes, these conspiracy theories. Just because a team loses badly or somebody or something you expect doesn't happen, doesn't mean that it's rigged. I shouldn't even have to say this. If it was found out that the NFL was rigging games, it would end the sport. It would destroy it. It's a $16 billion business per year. You don't have to rig games. You don't have to. And there's no way to. You just, not like that. It's just not possible. It's a combination of they just played like crap. They just gave no effort. And at the same time, the Bills were just on, man. They were on fire. And they better play great next week. They better. Because let me tell you something. When you get beat down like that, the last thing you want is for them to get slaughtered the next week. It makes you look even worse. So to be justified here, and even a little bit, we need the Bills to play well. Because if they go out and they just get destroyed, how bad is that going to look? So. Yeah, Russell, I agree. Somewhat fool's gold this year. If you guys, have been with me all season, you basically know that I didn't get too excited over a win and I didn't get too down over a loss, except for the one after Dallas, because I wasn't as mad about the loss as I was all the drops. The drops. There were drops tonight, by the way. Hunter Henry, you drop a touchdown catch that's low to the ground. Listen, I know you're not Gronk, but Gronk catches those balls. I know it was short, it was thrown short, but you could have caught that. That is a catchable ball. You were wide open. Nobody was around you, and you dropped it. You're getting paid a lot of money. You're getting paid great tight end money, and you can't make that catch. That's on you. Johnson, he dropped another one where he felt the heat coming at him and didn't pay attention to the ball. Again, watch the ball hit your hands. If you watch the ball hit your hands, you cannot drop it. You won't drop it. I'm telling you. Just won't. So, but for the most part, Russell, I have kind of stayed even keeled because I didn't have crazy expectations, but I did think that we could probably get into the playoffs somehow. I had us picked as being the 6th or 7th seed, but but as the season went on, I started to think, wow, we might win the division because the Bills were slipping up. But then it just got switched, and the Bills took off. And then ever since the bye week, we just don't seem to be the same. And so I guess in kind of a way, you could say it was kind of fool's gold, especially for a lot of people who were thinking that it was, basing that we were going to do great things in the playoffs strictly based on all that happened over the year and the good looking stats on the stat sheet for the defense and things like that. I think I mentioned last night that it reminded me on defense, it reminded me quite a bit of 2019. And yes, we lost in the wild card in that, but we didn't lose like this. There was still effort out there. This roster from player to player, other than Tom Brady, this roster from player to player was better in this year than it was in 2019. Still went 12-4. Still made it to playoffs. The Titans were just on that year. They went all the way to the AFC Championship game. It was just their time. And again, that was Mike Vrabel, a guy who knows the system, knows the Belichick way of doing things. Mike Vrabel practiced against Tom Brady for years. He just knew how to get us. And Derrick Henry running wild all over us. And that game was still close until the very end. That pick six wasn't even on Tom. That was deflected. So that's the difference right there. That I don't expect Mac to do that. So I'm not talking about Mac. What I'm about to say is not against Mac because I don't hold him accountable for that. Not yet. I will soon, but not yet. But that's the difference between Tom on your team and Tom not on your team. After they went down just 7-0, 14-0, definitely 20-0, Tom would have been on the sidelines going crazy, going nuts. All right. These guys, ask them. Ask Julian. Ask Gronk. They'll tell you. Chad Johnson says this. Even LaShawn McCoy. I heard LaShawn McCoy say this. Tom holds you accountable. He holds you accountable more than the coaches. They said that on offense, they're afraid of Tom more than they're afraid of Belichick. That is the difference maker right there. And again, I'm not expecting that from Mac. I'm just saying that you need someone like that. And I think the Patriots underestimated that value. And if you guys have been watching The Man in the Arena, the most recent episode is episode 9, and it's covering the 2018 season. And originally, that episode was supposed to be the last episode. The whole series, Man in the Arena, was supposed to only cover his time as a Patriot. So if you watch it, it seems like a final episode, but they had to add on another episode because Tom went and won the Super Bowl again in Tampa. So, but in this episode, Tom says, yeah, I could feel it coming to the end because things weren't changing. Or so, he said something along those lines, like if things weren't going to change and I was going to leave. That is the first time that we've actually heard something concrete from these guys. Not speculation, not in someone's book who's just trying to make money, but the first time we've heard it from either Bill or Tom. Tom saying that means that the players that were around him pissed him off, and he didn't get enough input in bringing them over and making decisions and getting what he asked for. So that tells us what happened. What that means is that Brady still could be a Patriot. Was still willing to be a Patriot. He just wanted things to change. And that's where I think our mistake was, is that Bill underestimated that. That's the difference. So it's not like Tom was making Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers money, where I think Aaron Rodgers is like $40 million against the cap this year for Green Bay or something like that. But Tom was never going to be that. Tom always made sure to make sure that he didn't count too much against the cap and he wasn't hurting the team in that way. But now we know the truth that was a mistake. It was a mistake, and now Bill has to make up for that mistake, and we have to hold him accountable when we're lacking such a presence on the team. Now imagine if that was Tom out there. Maybe we don't win. Maybe we do. I don't know. I actually think that it would be just the whole attitude of the game would be different, but I also think our seed would be different. So we probably wouldn't be playing Buffalo. We probably would have won the division. But we can't always think like that. We can't think like that forever. That's gone. Tom's not coming back. So yes, that's true. Because I'm only addressing this because I've seen a lot of people in the Patriots chat talking about this. So yes, it was a bad mistake on Belichick's part. Very, very stupid of the entire organization. But that's over now. Now we have a good quarterback, but I am just upset about the lack of effort. Yeah, they were just dropping balls. Yeah, exactly. Who said it's Mac's fault? Nobody's saying that. Has anyone said that it was Mac's fault in the chat? Did I miss that? Austin, who are you talking about? Well, if someone did say it's Mac's fault, that's no, sorry. I mean, every player, is responsible for something, but in general, that was not on Mac. Definitely not on Mac. Yeah. Okay. Okay, if you guys want to call in and say your piece for a second, like I said, we'll try to allow everybody a chance if they want to call in. But let's try to keep it, as brief as possible. And if someone's already on the call, wait your turn because I won't be able to answer you. Now I'm going to pin the link. I'm going to pin it to the top of the page so you won't lose it. Yeah, Redshift. Your team looks good, and I love Josh Allen, man. And I know if people say, "Oh, this is because his last name is Allen." Okay, maybe that helps a little bit. Yeah, but he's a great quarterback, and he's got a great future ahead of him. This dude, he's going to be. I think as long as Buffalo can keep this thing together and keep it rolling, he has a great chance at being a Hall of Famer one day. Yeah, John, that's weird. Mac's one of those quarterbacks that haters want to see fail, and that's weird too because Mac is such a nice guy. He comes across as such a nice person. I don't understand why anybody would want to see him fail. It's not like he's arrogant or cocky. I mean, he's really humble. He just seems to, in fact, he's almost too humble. When he talks, he sounds so he his play on the field, he seems experienced, right? But when he talks, Milena, you always say he just seems like such
Like a guilty child.
a guilty child who did something wrong. Yes, but I don't know why anyone would hate him or want to see him fail.
He also takes blame.
He always takes the blame. Always,
blame.
every time.
He does not throw his team under the bus.
Never. He never throws his team under the bus. Stephanie, you think that Jones has a smug face? Really? That's strange. I never saw it like that. Oh, I missed the super chat. Let's keep in mind, guys, if we keep getting on this trajectory, last year didn't make the playoffs, now we make the playoffs. Next year should be even better, right? Theoretically. So I just don't like getting embarrassed. That's all. Losing's not a problem. Losing happens sometimes. Okay, you're not going to win all the time. But getting embarrassed is something else. So Leo Gallimara sends another super chat for $5 and says, Bucks with no Fournette tomorrow. Levante is back, and he is the heart of that defense. So if I was to choose between one or the other, I pick Levante. I would agree with you that that's more important because the defense has been very, very shady this season. The offense doesn't seem to have much of a problem, and as long as you got Brady, you got a chance. So they just play a different game tomorrow. They don't have to only rely on the run or do the run. They just have to change it up a bit. So it's fine. There is no way Tom is going to let this Eagles team beat him. That bugs him, that Super Bowl. Yeah, I know they got him, and they got the Eagles in the regular season. It's the regular season, okay? Let's not get crazy. Regular season. People are bragging about the regular season. I saw Saints fans bragging how they beat the Bucks in the regular season again. They're arguing with me on Twitter about it. It's like, really? Do you understand how that sounds? Do you understand what you're saying here? You're bragging about a regular season game? They got the playoffs. That's just how it is. You know how much it bugs me that Peyton Manning has more championship games against Tom than Tom's got against him? That bothers me too. It goes both ways. Regular season is one thing, playoffs are another. Tom wants to take out the Eagles in the playoffs just to get ahead of them. So right now it's 1-1. Tom versus the Eagles in the playoffs. It's 1-1. Got to get that up to 2-1. So 2-1. Seth, I don't think Mac has a bunch of deficiencies. He's a rookie, and he's by far the best rookie quarterback this year. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, I he went out there tonight, and he was throwing some good balls for a while there until just things got out of hand. But I'm not saying that he's going to be in the Hall of Fame or he's going to win a bunch of Super Bowls or anything like that. But I think it's certainly much better. We're much better off with him than it could have been. It could have been a lot worse. So, but I understand what you're saying. I do know there are some Patriots fans who think that he is the next Tom Brady or whatever. I get that. So yeah, that's a bit ridiculous. But just keep in mind, that step going from game manager, and by the way, that is not a bad term. There's nothing wrong with being a game manager, especially when you're a young player. So. It's like we have a caller. Let's see here. Christian. I don't see you, Christian. Where's your video? I don't hear you either. Okay. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, if you guys want to call in, the link is pinned to the top of the chat here. But again, I like the start that Mac has had, so I'm totally happy about him. I think he's going to be fine. So let's just see. Because remember, Tom started out, kind of like that. Of course, Tom was in his second year, so he got to learn a lot more. He got to watch. Mac was just thrown in there under fire. That's a bit different. And I'm not saying that Mac is Tom Brady. I'm just saying that for a guy who's just thrown to the wolves like that, and a lot of guys fail like that. Trevor Lawrence, I know he was on the Jaguars. He was awful this year. But look at what Mac had. He had better coaching. So much better way to go. So, all right, let's see here. We have
Hey,
a guy named Jack. How you doing, Jack?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good, man. What's up?
Go Bills, baby!
Fuck the fat.
Mac Jones blows fat cock.
I was at Bills Patriots.
Go Bills!
I like it.
Mac Jones is not it. The Patriots need to draft a new quarterback. The Buffalo Bills are going to the Super Bowl.
Well, I hope they do. So either the Bills or the Titans. So
no, we're rolling the Titans. We can stop the run game. We're rolling the Titans.
Just not the Chiefs. Just not the Chiefs.
Oh, we're wiping the Chiefs too. Patrick Mahomes can blow me.
Are y'all having a party?
Oh yeah, we're live. Everybody's hammered. Everybody's blacking out. New England Patriots suck. The New England Patriots no longer own the AFC. It's Bills time.
No, definitely not. So that's 2 years in a row
Yeah,
you guys got the AFC East. So we definitely can't say we own it anymore.
Correct. Bill Belichick's a fraud.
Okay, hang on. Let's not get crazy. Okay. All right. I was giving them a little bit, but then it just got stupid. So, okay. But good for them. I know they're happy, especially since they've got the Buffalo Sabres, they've got the hockey team, but the Dallas Stars took them out in the Stanley Cup, so that's not going to work for them. Yeah, I mean, that's why that's why I let him rant because it's fine, you know. So that's some insightful commentary. Yep. No, Tiffany, I don't think Bengals fans exist. I don't think they're real. So, what are you doing, Addie? Okay, we're getting spam now. Hey, what are you gonna do about Addie? He joined in. You gonna punish Addie too? Redshift claims says I don't claim them. It's all right. It's all right. It's fine. No, it's just when he showed his ass, I didn't want to get deplatformed or cut off or whatever, you know. So, but I'm glad they're having fun.
He did that? I didn't.
One of his friends, yeah, he switched it. One of his friends did it, but yeah. But man, come on. I mean, those guys look pretty young. So if they're under, my God, if they're just under 25, which I think they looked at, they've never seen a playoffs. They've never seen a Buffalo Bills Super Bowl. So it's been a long time. You know, Luke, regarding McCourty and Hightower and Slater, I won't be surprised if Hightower quits. I won't be surprised. Um, Slater looked. I mean, I know this was just after a game, but not just this game, but I've in other interviews and post games and stuff. I think he's kind of on his way out, and absolutely that's going to affect the leadership completely. And that was the one thing. And Edelman, okay, but after Tom left, I said that the leadership void was going to fall onto Edelman and Hightower and McCourty and Slater and guys like that. So yeah, it's getting old. It's getting up there. So yeah, I mean the Bills have been completely owned by the Patriots for so long, and you know now that Tom is not there to chastise them, it's all theirs. So and I just hope it's not too long before we get another AFC East championship. So if you guys remember what I said, I said that if the until the Bills, now this was in 2020, but until the Bills win the AFC East, it's still ours. It's still our division, and they did that. And then this year we thought maybe we were going to win the AFC East, and because the Bills were kind of like they kind of had a problem. They kind of were stumbling a bit, and we seemed to be on fire for a while there. We ripped off 7 games in a row. It looked like we were going to take the AFC East back, and then it would be like people would say, okay, well, the Bills, that was just a blip on the screen. But they've got it twice in a row now. They just kicked our asses. I mean, we got completely annihilated. It's theirs. But I hope it's either the Bills or the Titans that go to the Super Bowl. Bills because of Josh Allen. I really like Josh. And Titans because of Mike Vrabel. And Derrick Henry, I want to see, Derrick Henry is such a great player. He deserves to get somewhere. Although I cannot stand Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill, can't stand that dude. Total just jackass. I don't like him. So either one of those teams I'm fine with. But like I said, it'd be funny if the Steelers somehow defeated the Chiefs. But the Chiefs' road is not going to be so simple this year, guys. It's not going to be like it was. And I'm not, let me rephrase that. Okay, scratch that. There's no such thing as an easy road to the Super Bowl. I just want to clear that up. But there is such a thing as not having to take out a juggernaut, a team that is just overwhelmingly awesome. And ever since Tom left, that's not been there because every time Patrick Mahomes has met Tom Brady in the playoffs, he's lost. But Tom's not there anymore, and so Mahomes never beat the Patriots dynasty. There was never that, and he came in towards the end. But there's nobody like that now. The Chiefs are that. The Chiefs are the AFC version of the Patriots for the last 20 years. And their two runs, so in 2020 and 2019 and 2020, there was a little bit of resistance, but you could see a Titans team in the AFC Championship game that really, you could tell their experience was lacking. You saw the Texans in the divisional that completely blew the lead. They completely choked. And then last year, the Bills were just finally getting some attention. They were finally getting things together with this new team that they've got. And the Chiefs were too much for them. So the Chiefs never just had to really face the bully. And there are some teams in the AFC right now that I have a feeling that can really do some damage on them. So I definitely put it this way. I definitely don't think that the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl is a foregone conclusion like it was the last 2 years. So, but like I said, I will keep to my bet. Milan, don't forget this. If the Steelers beat the Chiefs tomorrow night, I will wear some Steelers gear on VAS Live next week. Okay?
Okay.
So,
Deal.
next Friday. That would be hilarious. And that is nothing against Patrick Mahomes. That is nothing against Andy Reid. Although I can't stand some other players. Tyrann Mathieu, can't stand him. Travis Kelce bugs the hell out of me. Whatever. But that's not what this is about. This is about everybody constantly talking about how Patrick Mahomes is the baby goat, new goat, and all that stuff. Do you guys understand that last year in our quarterback formula, Josh Allen was one of the best performing quarterbacks in the league? And nobody cared, it seemed like. It was all Mahomes, Mahomes, Mahomes. That's all it's ever been. I would just like to see them taken down a peg and then have to earn it, have to come back and really scratch and claw. So, and it'd be funny to watch Nick Wright and all them melt down. So, what a cocky asshole. No, Thomas, no, you won't. Probably. Stephanie says, do I think the Pats will win another Super Bowl?
That's Stefan A.
It's not Stephanie?
No, it's Stefan in a French way.
Oh, it's French. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a guy then.
Yeah, Stefan.
All right. Apologies, Stefan. Okay. Yeah. Do I think the Pats will win another Super Bowl? Well, how long? I mean, do you mean like with Belichick, I'm assuming? No, probably not. he's old now, and he can't coach forever. Getting to the Super Bowl is so hard, and people, they don't understand that. They got used to going to the Super Bowl all the time, and when we had Brady, it was 50% of the time nearly that we were going to the Super Bowl. So it seemed so easy and seemed so simple. It's not. It's just those two guys together were so amazing that it just created this thing that was unheard of. It's funny, speaking of the Bills went to 4 straight in the 90s. Do you have any idea how hard that is? What the Bills did in the 90s was more difficult to go to 4 straight and lose them. That's more difficult than that the Redskins won one of those or that the Giants won one of those. That's actually more difficult. So to get to a Super Bowl, people take this for granted and think it's so simple, and it's not. And like you guys were saying a while ago, the Patriots defense is getting old. That's got to be revamped. Mac's got to get some more years of experience. How long is it going to be before this can happen again to where we can get the perfect storm going back again? How old is Bill going to be? And that's really kind of what's got me thinking this. But I just think he's going to run out of time. That's the truth. You got to remember when Tom came along and the defense was really, really good. A lot of those players, a lot of those core guys were there already. They were brought in earlier. So Bill was able to take a lot of these great dudes, these great players, and put them together and make it work for him. And then you had the quarterback that could execute on offense when he needed to do it. And those players aren't there like that. They're just not. It's not the same. So I just have a lot of respect for going to a Super Bowl, just getting to one. I think that's a big deal, and I count those. And I count. A lot of people say, "Oh, if you go to the Super Bowl and you lose, or you lose badly, that's somehow worse than if you got beat in the playoffs," which is a stupid argument. I don't understand that. Getting to the Super Bowl means that you won your conference. That's still something. That is still a great achievement. And the respect I have for getting to the Super Bowl, because it is so hard, even if they can make it back to one, can they win? That's a whole different animal. So we'll see. But I hope that would be amazing. But I just don't know. I think time is not on our side as far as Bill goes. But will we ever win another Super Bowl? I mean, yeah, of course. At some point in time, it will happen. But I'm assuming that you meant with Bill. Yeah, Jack, I was going to let you talk more, man, but the moment he showed his ass, you're going to get my show kicked off the YouTube, so you can't do that. So, you didn't have to time him out. It's fine.
He kept saying, insulting people.
You mean players?
No, even Seth and your 50-year-old, you like boys. He kept saying Mac has balls and ass.
Oh, okay.
And I was like,
Okay.
One thing is to enjoy, one thing being a jackass.
I got you. I got you. Okay, I didn't know that. All right. Yeah.
Just don't be silly.
I mean, I don't mind people talking shit, about their team or whatever, or about another team. But if they're, yeah, it's fine. Seth changed his icon.
Yeah.
It used to be Tom Brady riding a colt.
Yeah.
Which I always thought was funny. But now we know what Seth looks like, at least. So All right. So, guys, thank you so much. I guess I'm going to get off here. We've been on here for an hour and a half now. Still have a big game tomorrow. We have, Tom playing the Eagles early. I'll be joined tomorrow by a couple of friends, so we're going to watch the game together, do a post game here. I won't do the game play-by-play or in-game reaction until the divisional round. I don't ever do wild card because it's just, so many of them, and kind of what's the point? I don't even think, whatever, just save it. But yeah, it sucks, but what can you do, right? But I will see you guys tomorrow for the Bucs game, and hopefully they take care of business and get this bad taste out of my mouth, because I think watching Tom annihilate the Eagles will definitely make this much better. So I will say before I go that I did see Tom and the Patriots play in person. I watched Tom Brady's last victory as a Patriot. His last victory as a Patriot. I was in New England, and it was against the Buffalo Bills. So that was a good night. Weren't there a couple of drunk Bills fans in front of us that night at the stadium? So, all right, guys, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thanks so much, and have a good rest of your evening, okay? Thanks, guys.
This is Patriots linebacker, Super Bowl 49 champ, Darius Fleming, and you're watching Von Allen Sports, real and honest NFL analysis. Subscribe now. Join the empire. Von Allen Sports, let's go!
Von Allen Sports.